everybody can punch. You get anybody in here like, hey, I've had 3 street fights. I'm tough. I can take a punch.
Wait, sorry to cut you off. What do you like say to the fighter, and what do you think yourself when someone comes in and saying that? Because I've had a lot of that too as a coach.
No, of course. So it's been 15 years of coaching, right? So I've probably had over a dozen guys come in like that. Even when I was training out of the Alliance for years when I was competitive, we had these monster guys come in. Hey, I'm here to fight, and what did my coach do? Hey, Rolly, come here. Dude, you kidding? This guy outweighs me by like 120 pounds. Right. But there was no weight classes. It was just like, hey, you're going to spar this guy. So I was the test dummy for all these guys because I had a great chin and good defense.
Yeah.
And
were you seasoned by that time already? Like you?
Yeah, I had probably 3-4 years under my belt. So these guys would come out again, all heavy, and I'm just sitting there patiently waiting, weathering the storm, and then, all right, this guy's winded, my turn. Boom, 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 done. Right? Your shot selection, your defense, your footwork, all these things are tools that are going to take those guys out immediately. So even though these guys think on the streets they're tough guys, yeah, you got nothing on, you're swinging the fences, you're usually catching these guys off guard, you're rushing these guys aren't even ready for it. But when you come into a boxing gym where guys train every single day to do this stuff, and they've seen every single punch thrown at them, right? Yeah. They know where you're going to throw. Right. A street guy, this is all he got, the haymaker, the right hand, right? So what's one of the first things we teach somebody is how to avoid that. So when they come in here trying to use their best weapon that's knocked out all these guys on the street, that's not going to work here. And you're going to get tired after the first minute, and you're going to get picked apart, and the sweet science is going to be displayed, and you're basically going to quit. And you're never going to walk in here again because you were embarrassed. So it's a very big, humbling experience that I've seen in the past. Like these guys come in, I got this. Okay, let's see what you got. I'm not trying to hurt them, but I'm trying to teach them that there's a sweet science to this, and it's skills that are developed over time. And you can't just walk into a place and be like, I'm the toughest guy that's ever lived. Okay, let's see it. Put him in with a lighter guy, he can't even hit him. He's getting winded, he's starting to doubt himself, and then he's getting counterpunched, and then he's getting hit in that body. And next thing you know, he's huffing and puffing, he's down on one knee, he's shaking his head, he's saying no more. And that basically changes the course of his life.
Yeah, and that seems to be like the virality of like YouTube videos nowadays, where you got the bodybuilder coming in to the boxing gym, you got Bradley Martin saying 280, and all that. But then, that's where it lies in the technique. And one thing that sticks out to me when you just said that was about the pacing. And I always like to say this, exhaustion makes a coward out of all of us. So if you don't know how to pace and like your technique, and then your hands start going down, it's like, okay, well, you just came in here testosterone filled and then, confident filled. And you just, like you said, pretty much just got a reality check. And I think that's what humbles fighters, and that could either make you or kind of break you, right? It's almost like if that's what's going to decide if you stay, if you could put that ego aside.
There's many tests that you're going to encounter on your boxing journey. And one of those tests could be you're a tough guy, you walk in and you get humbled right away. You're either going to accept that as a human being and go, okay, I got some stuff to learn, right? Or you're going to go, that place just wasn't for me. You're going to make every excuse that you can to say, hey, that's not for me. Let me go try this place over here, right? But the reality is you're going to face all these walls on your boxing journey, and you're going to have to figure out how to get over these walls. And every time you get over one of those walls, it builds your character, it builds your tool belt, right? I like to talk about the tool belt. There's tons of tools on my belt, right? And you need different tools for different situations. So that's one of the first obstacles you face. Don't give up. Go back, see what you can learn. Why did those guys beat you? What did they do to you that made you crumble? That happened to me. I walked in the gym and I was like, I know what I'm doing already. Got in there, I did what I could, got beat up. I got beat up for 4 years.
For
4 years.
And in boxing, man. And in boxing, man. You know what I mean?
One of the things I never did was quit. I had a good chin. I had great stamina. I took a beating. There was times where I drove home with 2 black eyes driving stick, ice pack on my thing, trying to shift on the freeway. Luckily, okay, let me ice this one. There was moments I couldn't even drink out of a straw. I couldn't even eat. I had to drink out of a straw. My jaw was hurting so much. There was times where the ribs got bruised. You're sitting there for 6 to 8 weeks. The most recent one, this is the worst. My hand is just destroyed right now.
Was that from like competing, or is that sparring?
Just sparring.
Okay,
trading hooks, and threw a big left hook, and I He pulled back, I pulled back, and I hit his bicep and just shattered my arm.
Just a miss.
Didn't think anything of it, just kept going, and then once I got out, I cooled down and I felt the pressure. I was like, oh, it's been 6 weeks now. Right? So it reminds you, though, the importance of taking care of your body. You know, I should have wrapped my hands a little bit better that day.
Sure.
I should have put some tape over them, right? So again, everything's a learning experience. You're going to encounter so many things along your journey that they're lessons. They're not things that maybe I'm not that good. No. It's a big mental battle. But we're kind of getting off subject, so let's reroute it and get to where we need.
You know, no, I like where it's going because that's what the podcast is about. It's about like a psychological kind of like, how do you get through like tough times like that, right? Like not just physically, but like emotionally. How do you get back into the ring? It's almost like if you just based on a sparring session, right?
So to touch on that subject, there were so many times in my journey that like my nose was jacked, right? And coach was like, "Oh, you're sparring today." I'm like, "It's tender, you know."
Yeah.
But you're gonna listen to your coach. If he says, "Hey, get in there," you're gonna get in there.
Do you think that that's the right thing to do though?
Well, here's what it did for me. It made me so much more aware of not getting hit in that nose because it was so tender that, hey, guess what? Today I'm actually moving my head. Hey, guess what? Today I'm actually catching those shots. I'm not just, okay, let's see what you got. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's it. Pop, pop, pop.
Walk forward,
It's forcing me to use my defense. So in a way, at first I was like, this kind of sucks. The old school way, right? No, you're going to get in there anyway. We sparred 6 days a week. For 4 years,
a week.
we sparred 6 days a week. I calculated getting hit in the head 100,000 times.
Jesus,
I mean, that's
dude.
a lot of hits.
That hurts me right now thinking
that's
about that.
That's a lot of hits, right?
It's giving me a headache.
Black eyes, bruised ribs, sore neck, sore jaw. Man, it was bad, but kept going. Kept going.